Thank you, Lisa, and thank you everybody very much for your attendance today. I'm excited to show you more about life design analysis and specifically how we can work in both funnels of your insurance business, both top and bottom. So what that refers to for us is insurance opportunities that exist within your own insurance block of business and how to automate some of the processes that are naturally involved in keeping up with the renewals and exchange opportunities, finding new options for clients based on their needs that are constantly changing, but also working with new insurance prospects as well. That's something that we definitely have grown to add to life design analysis over time. So we'll be talking about how you can automate that process and how both of these sections and a part of our functionality blends together when it comes to both of those aspects. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by talking more about the block of business management inside of LDA and how we can take it away from the insurance carriers. You can manage your insurance block of business for all of your clients and all their policy data in one location. You can get the notifications from LDA at a much earlier time frame. You can be proactive to find opportunities, and then you can automate the process in reacting to the opportunities and taking action upon them as well. Then we'll look at more of the lead generation and how we can integrate within your own website and some of the functions that are available there. At the end, as Lisa mentioned, we will open it up to a Q&A. So if you have a question at any period of time, please ask it in that section, and we'll be sure to address it at the end of the webinar. So what I'll do is I'll start sharing my screen. So hopefully this is coming up for everybody. I am just on my client section within Life Design Analysis. So for those of you that haven't heard of Life Design Analysis, we are a sales presentation compliance software for your life insurance and critical illness, disability business that IDC has been recommending and promoting for quite some period of time. One of our co-founders, Larry Kinlan, was actually an IDC advisor. And if you're interested in testing this out afterwards, we do offer a 15-day free trial. And if you wish to use Life Design Analysis beyond that, keep in mind we do have a 15% discount through IDC that you could take advantage of on either a monthly or our annual subscription options. So within here, one of the main functions and one of the main reasons why an advisor would choose to use Life Design Analysis is to manage their block of business. If I were to ask most of you, how do you deal with your current insurance clients, or how are you notified when a client's policy is coming up for renewal? I bet over 90% of you would say it's from the insurance carrier. Now, some of you may have your own CRM system to find that information, but I bet it does require a lot of manual entry. That tends to be the theme here. That's where we can take over. So all of your insurance clients and their policy data is located in one convenient location. So you can find and search for your clients, you can find opportunities, but once you identify those opportunities, you can act on them inside of Life Design Analysis. And some of you already, when you sign up, just because of your IDC affiliation, you may already have some business in there from carriers such as Empire Life and RBC Insurance, who we've done term conversion campaigns with in the past. So there may be some of the work done for you in that regard. So once you have Life Design Analysis or using the program, inside of this spot, you'll see all the clients and you'll see our policy information. So this is an example of how that can work. So inside of here, we divide the client information up by putting their personal information on the left-hand side and their policy information on the right-hand side. Each of these clients also has a view icon, which takes me into their client profile, where I can see more information about the clients. I can input notes, take advantage of document storage that we offer, or even policy summary reports, which I'll highlight in just a second. But most of the advisors that we work with, they want to find opportunities within their block of business or become more proactive in finding them. And that's where these case opportunity icons come into play. So the blue ones that we see here, these are filters to bring up upcoming opportunities. Conversion, in this case, means the policy is coming up to the renewal timeline. Swap is for exchanges that carriers offer within the first 5 years on T10 policies, or 7 years if we're including Canada Life in here. And also we have the ability to search for policies that have gone beyond the 10th or the 20th year just by a click of a button. So let's go through one of those examples. If I click on Term 10 conversion, what this will do is it will bring up all of my clients that have a Term 10 policy issued after today's date 10 years ago and sort them in an earliest to latest order. Now, I have an example client for my colleague Charlie, which some of you may know, which I'll pass because he's made that a little bit messy. But here you can see May 25th of 2013, all T10s. And here are some examples from IA. There's some Equitable, an Empire, a BMO. So as you can see, it doesn't matter who the policy is with. It all comes up under this filter. So if you are looking to have a way to produce a report of what upcoming opportunities you have, that's available at a click of a button, and it's up to date as of the date that you are doing it. There is also the same thing with T20s. So if I did this, it'd be today's date 20 years ago in T20s. And the swap or exchange would be T10s issued after today's date 5 years ago. For anything that's overdue, it would be from or up into today's date 5 or 10 years ago, that the policies were issued, as we can see. So we can find anything that may be in that first renewal time period that we haven't taken action on. So we can work with that client immediately. And again, we could see a multitude of carriers available inside of here. Now, LDA isn't just for being more proactive on opportunities. As much as we would all love to be, let's face it, some of us just don't have the time, especially dealing with insurance and investments, to be proactive like this. Maybe we need to still be reactive to opportunities, but we can provide notifications at a much faster rate than what the carriers do. So you can see inside of my account, right beside where it says welcome in my name, there's a 1 number, which tells me I have 1 notification. One of the notification types inside of our program is for opportunities. So as an example, for term 10 conversions or term 10 renewals, we start that notification process when the policy is at the 7th year anniversary. We provide future notifications each year after on that anniversary date, and a final one 3 months or 90 days prior to. When it comes to term 20s, we start that at the 15th year and do it every single year, just like T10s up until that 90-day or 3-month point. For swaps or exchanges, that occurs at the 2nd year, 3rd year, 4th year, and then of course, 90 days prior to. So because we send the notifications at a much earlier rate, and we also send multiple notifications for the same client, it allows you to act on that opportunity at a time period that may work better for you to ensure that you're putting all the options together in a timely manner and you're not rushing that process, but also for the client so they're not spending more on insurance because, of course, each year policies get more and more expensive and maybe their needs have changed sooner than expected when issuing the insurance. So that's how the filters and the notifications work. But again, I'll just go back to my term 10 conversion filter to find my term 10 upcoming opportunities, just to show what it looks like with an example client file. So what I will do is I'm going to search for an example client in here who I call Sharon Sample, just to show what a client profile can look like and some of the other features that are available here. So when I click on view, this will take me to that client's profile. And from here, I can see more information about the client. I have an internal notes area that I can utilize, just like most back office systems. I have the ability to either start a brand new insurance report and create new recommendations through our Life Guide integration and bringing in data from the carrier's illustration software. For those of you that are Life Guide subscribers, please contact us and we'll tell you more about the exclusive discount we offer if you are a Life Guide subscriber. And you also have a list of the insurance policies or policy, if it's just one, that the client has. Doesn't matter if it's different policy types or different carriers, they're all listed inside of here. One option we even have is document storage. So all of you, you'll all save your documents locally on your computer to a client file. But if you're looking for a safe and convenient location to save this information as a backup, you can load it into Life Design Analysis so it's all available in one spot. We are a Canadian-based company. We are SOC 2 Type 2 compliant, meaning that's the main audit process that distributors and carriers require to work with client and policy information. So we adhere to all the compliance standards in Canada across the industry. Now, inside of here, we also have a policy summary report too. So if you ever want to put together a document that's bespoke to you with your branding, your name, your logo, your colors, but showing your client their insurance policies or policies that they have, you can produce these quite easily with a click of a button, and you could distribute these to your clients via a printed document. You can show it to them over Zoom as I am to you today, or you can do it face-to-face. There's even a way to send a copy to a client so you can have them view it on any device, and they would you get a notification from LDA saying, okay, the client has looked at the case. Here's the time and date and when they looked at it and how long they looked at it for. So that's something you have available inside here too. Now, one other feature too that we can set up or that we have as an offer is if the client has an opportunity at the 1 year point from the renewal or the exchange, or the 90-day point from that renewal or exchange, Life Design Analysis can create an insurance report automatically for that client. So we'll give an example of that. I'm just going to go into my notifications just by clicking on the notification section. And once I'm inside that page, what I'll do is I'm just going to search in my notifications for a term 10 conversion opportunity, because where it says show all up here, we can filter through the different types of notifications to find specific ones, such as the notifications I've received for term 10 renewals. So I'll go in here, but one thing that I'll notice is that for these notifications, we'll go to one that I haven't looked at. So here's a term 10 conversion opportunity. This was sent to me on April the 6th. It's for a renewal that's coming up on July the 6th. But you'll notice here that it says an example case has been created. So if I click view case, what this will do is it will show me an insurance report that Life Design Analysis has produced automatically in the background without me conducting any work whatsoever on this. So for this client, based on their age, their gender, their smoker status, and the amount of insurance they currently have, we have put together a new insurance report showing new options that are the best rate for that client and based on the amount of insurance that they currently have. So I can generate this report, present it to the client, I can share it to them, or if I want to, I can make edits to it. And for those of you that haven't seen the Life Design Analysis insurance reports, the one thing that we specialize in is making it easier for the client to understand their options. We do this by using lots of visuals. So all the data that's inside here is presented in a digital form or in a visual form, which is interactive. So I can show my client very easily in a way they can understand the differences between each plans. It's not concept-based. It's using the actual data for these products to show them what the differences are over time. But of course, I also have tables and numbers to go along with that. So again, this is just done automatically by the system. I didn't have to do anything whatsoever to find this type of opportunity. It's all done by the system. And from here, like I said, I can make edits to the insurance case, which I'll show a little bit later on as well. And for those that are wondering how this information is brought into Life Design Analysis, all that we need is, if you become a subscriber to our program, we need your advisor codes for the carriers that you have a block of business with. Once you supply us the codes, we will make a request for those for the client and policy data on your behalf. Some of the carriers will send it to us, in which case we'll import it automatically into LDA. Most of the carriers, though, send it to the agent of record. So if they send it to you, you can pass it to us, and then we'll import it into your account. That process takes about 2 weeks in total, depending on the carrier and the time they can supply that information to you or to LDA if they just so happen to send it to us. So the best thing about that, there's no manual entry in order to get this done. So if you like the benefits of this, if you could see value in managing your block of business or having an easy way to find opportunities and also act on those opportunities based on the automated cases we can create and what we'll take a look at in just a second through our lead generation, then that's something that could be set up quite easily for you without any manual entry. Again, at this point, I just want to highlight, if anybody has any questions, please refer them to either the chat or the Q&A section inside of this conference here, and we'll be sure to take a look at that at the end of our call today. So that's essentially how the client and policy management system works. Now, the other side of it too that we also offer is online website lead generation. And that could also be paired with what we've looked at here today. So let's just say, for example's sake, you've received a notification from LDA for a opportunity from a client, or you've searched inside of LDA and you found a client that they have a policy that's coming up. So what you can do is, let's say we found this client, they have the renewal coming up sooner than maybe we expected here. So in this case, it's about a month away. What you can do is you can actually send to them a link to your website where LDA is embedded on to get your clients to fill in their information and have an insurance report produced automatically for that client. But this also works for just anybody that visits your website. And how that can be done is through a section that we call lead gen. So LDA lead gen, that is an extension of life design analysis that we can embed onto your website. So this portion that we see here in the stark white color, this would be provided on any web page on your website where you have insurance information or you want the clients to get access to receiving an insurance report so long as they provide their information inside here. But all that's required to get this loaded in is just a simple HTML code. You copy and paste it on the site, and then away it goes. As long as it's the proper frame size, it'll look just like this, what you see in the stark white, but just on your own website. So the idea behind this is it's not just a quoting tool, because most websites or quoting applications you see are just providing the rates for, let's say, all T10s across Canada, or maybe one specific product type. But what makes this a little bit different is we provide a report based on the reason why the client needs insurance and based on their specific insurance need. Because if they don't know how much insurance they need, we will ask them to complete a client-friendly needs analysis. So let's go through that process just to show how it works. So let's just say that I'm either a lead that has gone to your website, you have this embedded, and I'm in the market for life insurance and I'd like to purchase it. Or I'm an existing client of yours, you've sent me an email that directs me to here, and you told me, hey, fill out this form, and then we'll continue on from there to schedule a meeting. I would start by inputting this information, whether I'm looking for insurance for myself or me and a partner in a joint case. Put in my basic details. I'm a male living in Ontario. I don't smoke or do smoke. I then put in my information. So I'll just say in this case, I'm a 40-year-old male non-smoker. I also state the reason why I'm looking for insurance. And based on that reason that I select, it will choose the best plan options for that need. So let's just say, for example, I bought a house recently. I need insurance for my house. It will choose options that go along with that need. So we'll show, in this case, a T10 versus a T20 versus a T30. Those specific plans would be selected from carriers that you have a contract with. There's a setting inside of LDA called My Preferred Companies, where you can choose the carriers that you work with. So when we use the best rates, like in this case, or your automated cases, going back to what we looked at earlier, it's only working with the carriers that you have a contract with. So you won't just see the lowest price option. And from here, once I state the need, then or state why I'm looking for insurance, I would state what my specific need is, whether I don't know it, and then it would prompt me to do a needs analysis, or I can enter in a specific number or choose from a preset number. But in this case, I'm going to say, which most clients will, they don't know, which will prompt me to that needs analysis. Then I put in my information. So all of this, whether it's a lead or an existing client of yours, gets sent back into your life design analysis account for you to act on. So, all right. So there's the information I put in. What I'll do is I'll click next. And again, since I didn't put in an insurance amount, it's now going to tell me to conduct an insurance needs analysis. So here's the next step. And the needs analysis, it goes over first off the needs or the things that add to an insurance need. You'll see here we have some text here to try to educate the clients on what to put in there. We also have these tool tips to provide them some information of what to potentially consider. So for debts, it's total household debts, car loans, credit cards, lines of credit, etc. Final expenses, and then we have other considerations as well to list in here. At the bottom, we would put in if they have any current insurance they're keeping, they can fill that in there. Any assets that would be liquidated, so things that take away from the insurance need are at the bottom. So they can fill this in, and as they start to do that, a pie chart will start to come up on the right-hand side of the page, which is adding all the total needs based on the information that I'm putting in here. Now, some of these have multiplication factors, such as the income replacement multiplying it by the amount of years to provide us that number. Same with education, multiplying it by years and the number of children. So I'll just fill in some arbitrary numbers just for example's sake here today. And once I'm done, now if they don't know what to put in for specific sections, they can leave it blank and you can always make an edit to that afterwards. But once they're done, when they click next, what it is now doing is in the background is producing a life design analysis report for them. So it's using your account settings to find the best rates for this client based on their age, gender, smoker status, and the amount of insurance that the needs analysis calculates from your insurance company list. So this will be the prompt telling them it's ready to go. The view report green icon, this opens up a custom website link to an insurance case that's been produced in life design analysis. And this case link is heat mapped. So it would tell me when this link was opened, how long they look at it for, how long they look at each page, and it sends that back to you in the form of a notification. If the clients go through this component too, the notification is emailed to you immediately. So you will get an email right away saying, hey, there's this website lead that came in. So if you're not logged into LDA already, you're not going to miss out on this. So you could see here, the look and feel of the report is very similar to that example that we looked at earlier on from that automated case. Here's that needs analysis that's now added in. And just remember, everything that's visual is also interactive. So I could toggle options on and off as I'm doing here. But the plans that have been brought in are based on, from my preferred company list, a 40-year-old male non-smoker for just under, in this case, $500,000, least expensive options. So we could see the T10 option is Empire, same with the T20, the T30 is BMO. But this report, because the longest length of plan is 30 years to go along with an insurance need for buying a house. Most mortgages now are 30-year length, so that kind of goes along with that same plan. We show the difference of these plans over a 30-year period of time. So here's the cost difference. So of course, the T10 is cheaper for the first 10 years, then the T20 for the first 20, and of course the T30 for the last 30. And from a cumulative amount, so how much they're spending at the end of the day, we could see the crossover point when that T30 is now cheaper than the T10 or the T20. So we are showing the guaranteed renewals in here more for education's sake on the client. Yes, you can go into editing this report and showing, well, if they were to just repurchase that T10 every 10 years, assuming they're still in the good health status, what that amounts to. But we will disclose the guarantees with these plans on the report and how over 30 years, the T30 provides the best long-term cost for the client. So we could summarize all that information. Now, I have an internal rate of return page. I'd probably remove this, which you could have a custom page selection for this as well and add in your own notes if you wish to address anybody that comes in through here. But again, this is provided to the client right away that goes to your website or the lead that goes to your website. So they'll have access to that case. They also at the top of it have the ability to generate a PDF file to save it, to access it at a later time. But let's go back into my life design analysis account to see what's happened. So I'm just going to click on our logo. That logo will take me to the home screen that you access when you go into life design analysis. And you'll see here I have a new notification. Now, this notification, if I go to it, is telling me that I have a new website lead. The other thing, which I mean, you can't see here, but I'll have in my email right now, is an email saying that, hey, a web lead has come through and I should act on it, or I should log into LDA to see more about it. But it says here that I filled out the embedded needs analysis form. So what I can do is click this green icon to view that specific insurance case. And what it will do is it will now redirect me to that specific insurance report. So I can see more information about that case and view the details that were presented to that client. And then I also have the ability to make edits from here. So that's something I'll have the ability to do. Now, one thing, so here's that case right there. Now you can also access it from the main page through our cases file folder, which I'll show in a little bit. But here we go. Here's that insurance case. we tag it as a web lead as well automatically. So when you're searching for specific insurance cases down the road, you can search just for ones that came in through the web lead functionality. But inside of here, what I can do is I can make edits to this insurance case if I wish. So if I need to make an edit to the needs analysis to add in other things that maybe weren't considered, that is something that I can do. So I have the ability to go in here, make changes to this. So maybe what I want to do is say that, oh, I know they have a second property. If this is an existing client of mine, or maybe you meet with them and they tell you they have a second property and they need to consider capital gains taxes into their insurance. So maybe I'll write that down. I'll say estate taxes. I'll assign a value to that. So maybe I'll just say $200,000 just as an example here. And that will change the insurance need. Now, what I'll do is I'll click Save Changes. So that will apply to that needs analysis. And now that will update the client file from the lead needs analysis that came in once I created that. Now, the other thing I can do too is I can also make edits to products. So now that there is an estate need that I've found, let's say we wanted to add in a whole life plan to compare against these term options. That is something I can add in. Now, inside of Life Design Analysis through our Life Guide integration, which is how we brought in the Empire and BMO plans that we see right there, Life Guide has the ability to show non-participating plans and the basic data for participating plans. But the thing is, PAR plans, and the same goes for overfunded UL, they have a lot of different variables that are hard to just, so what I can do here is if I'm working with a plan that is not available in Life Guide, such as a participating plan, I can tell the system that I want to add in a whole life, identify the carrier that I want to work with. So let's just say, for example's sake, it's Canada Life. So I choose Canada Life. I can load in a PAR whole life policy or really any other life insurance plan to this case, although I wasn't the one to start creating it. It was done initially by the client. So you can see here, I've told the system that I want to add a whole life and I selected Canada Life, which has prompted this option to come up, asking me to bring in information from their specific illustration software. So what I can do is I'm just going to a different page here. I'm bringing up their illustration software and I can create this for this particular client, which was a 40-year-old male non-smoker. Maybe in this case, I'll say I want to use a 20-pay plan. I'll say it's paid up additions. And you know what? Maybe I'll say that I want 250 of base coverage paid annually, which is how the other plans are being paid. And then I want to show maybe a term rider of, let's say here, 350,000. And I'll say that that expires after 20 years. Oh, I did age there. So let's say 60. There we go. So once I'm done designing this, most of the time when you're working with the carrier illustration software, you would be using the view report option to get an illustration. But if you wanted to show this client this information to the client inside of LDA and compare it alongside those other plans, all we need is the data. So if you click view data or spreadsheet, depending on what the carrier prompts you to do, you can then export this information into a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. Once here, you can either save this spreadsheet to your computer as a document and load in that document into Life Design Analysis. Or what you can do is highlight all the details like I've done just by clicking this little triangle beside the A column and above the first row. Simply right click to copy the data. Go back to Life Design Analysis. Tell the system I want to paste that information and simply right click and paste it in here. Although this looks like a mess, LDA recognizes the format and we're able to map this appropriately. So once I click upload, it is now loading all that information so it shows in the right places inside of LDA, and I'll receive a message in just a few seconds telling me that this plan has now been loaded successfully, as we can see here. Another indicator that was done properly, I no longer see the import or paste option down below. So again, this is a great way to have, if you're working with an existing client, them do a lot of the work, which you would be doing anyways, or just having our system do it automatically for you when you're requesting your clients to fill in their basic data. And from there, if you ever need to make any tweaks, it's very easy to do. And we can incorporate that all inside of one insurance report to educate the client on that. So let's generate this report now to see what we get. The look and feel, it'll be consistent to what we just saw before. The only difference is the length of the plan or the report has changed from 30 years now to about 59 years because they're a 40-year-old client. And now we'll have the whole life information inside of here too. So I'll scroll past the needs analysis. There's that information. And just so we know, we can always change the name of these plans. So I could have mentioned that it's a 20 pay estate achiever plan. I brought in a term 20 rider as well. So I could have mentioned all that, but all those details will be now disclosed in the report. So there's the premium schedule and comparing them amongst the plans. Here's the cumulative cost. So I could see the difference over time. So if now my client needs insurance around life expectancy based on the estate need, I can see that the whole life option is the least expensive option that actually provides insurance coverage up until life expectancy timeline. So it's a great idea to educate the clients on the long-term value, even in permanent versus term cases, not just the term versus term like we saw comparing the different term lengths. And then we also get those cash values versus the sum of premium. And when I say cash values, I don't just mean the current dividend. I mean the current dividend, the reduced dividend option. So this is minus 1% from the current projections. Also the guaranteed values. So all of that comes up in the report. Same thing with the term rider. So I can see here the insurance coverage amount, how that term rider drops the coverage after 20 years, and then how it will grow based on the dividend and the projections. But of course, I can see the different options. Now, one thing we could do too with these LDA reports is if we're now meeting with the client again, reevaluating their options, if there is other needs that weren't considered that they put in initially, maybe we want to clarify some points like this. Maybe the drop-off provides confusion to the client of, well, why does that drop-off happen at age 60? So what I can do is I can always click on a line at any point in time and add in a text note. This is something that we call a call out. So this call out, I can just type in the message of it right here in this text box. We recommend keeping it brief just because you only have so much room. So I'll say in this one, term rider ends here. So I'll save that now. And in just a moment, I'll get a message or I'll see this load again into the case. And I'll have that message now at that time period where I made my note. So right at age 60. So you can do this on any visual page. An indicator of that is if you see this icon called toggle callouts. So what it does, just hides them and adds them back in. So if you maybe made that point, they understand that, you can now remove it. So you're just looking at the values when you hover your cursor over this. And again, just like everything else, all the information, although we show visuals because most people are visual learners, for those that are analytical, we have the tables to substitute from that or the tables to summarize the information that we saw earlier on. This is highlighting a target age that I've set at age 85. That's something you can change from case to case, but that's what we're seeing here, making a comparison of all the different options. So as you can see here, even in this report, you don't have to compare apples to apples. There really is no limitation on the carriers, the product types, the amount of products, although we say 5 or less, as our own internal recommendation, or the carriers. Doesn't matter. It really is up to you as far as what you want to show. So you have the flexibility to do whatever you choose. So again, what we've gone through today is one, how you can utilize life design analysis to manage your insurance block of business. So remember, there's no manual entry on that side of the program. All that we need is your advisor codes. We can load in all your clients so they're in one spot. The benefit to you is life design analysis has the much earlier notification timelines. We have the filters where you can produce the reports with the click of a button as we demonstrated today. And you have the ability to easily act on opportunities. Whether you want to create your own custom case similar to this, but start from scratch. If you want to use an automated insurance case that's been produced by the system, like we saw earlier on, or if you want to use the lead generation system and refer your clients to your website to fill in that information, which can also be used with brand new prospects who come to your website, or if you market them to come to your website, can get more than just an insurance quote. They can get an actual insurance report based on the reason for why they need insurance, and the amount of insurance they currently need can be calculated on there too, without you having to initiate that conversation. It can all be done. You're notified of that, as we saw, and edits can be made to that information. So both of these two systems right there are really great ways that Life Design Analysis can help save you time and also increase sales, not just with your existing clients, but with new clients and bringing in potential new clients. Whether you're marketing to them, it's a referral, and you send them to that lead generation section right away. So both of which are available with Life Design Analysis. One other thing to remember, again, we do offer a free 15-day trial. So you can go to our website, lifedesignanalysis.com, sign up for that first 15 days for free. One thing that we do with everybody is we do a personal training session just to show you more about specifically your business, how we can be incorporated in it, how we can make your practice more efficient. At that time, when the trial ends, you can either do nothing because our trial is risk-free. You're not entering in any billing information like you would on a Netflix trial to access it. So at that time, you're not required to do anything to stop it. Or if you want to, you can start a subscription. You'll get a 15% discount because of your IDC affiliation. For those of you that have a paid Life Guide subscription, there is an exclusive discount available for you as well. And you could choose to use our services on a month-to-month or an annual basis, depending on your preference. So we've gone over a lot in a short period of time. It looks like we have some questions. So why don't we get into that now? Lisa, did you want me to review those questions and answer them, or did you want to read the questions out?
Can we transfer entire blocks of business from all carriers?
Yes. There's no limitation. So the idea behind it is all your clients are in one spot, not just a segment of your clients.
And I think you probably answered this as well. How can I import my clients' policies? Is the importing of my clients' policies directly through the insurance carriers?
So yes, we do have the ability to do it directly with the carrier, but that needs to be done at the distributor level. So in this case, how it would be done is I would send you a form asking for your advisor codes. You supply that to us. We request it on your behalf. Most carriers will send the files to the agent of record, which you'll need to then send to us, and we'll import it into the account. Other carriers will send it to us, in which case we'll import it directly. So no manual entry is necessary.
Is LDA also available in French?
It is, yeah. So we are a fully bilingual system. So you will see on here, there's the ability to convert it into French. If you work in an area, say like Montreal, and you work with English and French clients, you can have an English logo and a French logo, English disclaimers and mission statements in French. So depending on which settings turn on, it changes automatically too. Also, our support, we have 2 bilingual specialists that can do training sessions, that can help you out on our live chat that we offer on the website. So there's a lot of support we've now integrated into the French market.
And the lead generation is also available in French?
That is correct, yeah. Lead gen is also available in French, just depending on your website settings.
Can we do participating whole life comparisons by importing value data from different carriers?
Yes, so that's what we demonstrated at the end here, but that's not something that can be generated automatically. So every carrier, we would just need to identify, well, one, who it is, and then import that spreadsheet. One thing that we are actively looking at doing is eliminating that process. So we hope to have some news in that in the coming years about how we can avoid that import process.
And assuming the LDA logo that's in the reports, that can be changed out to the advisor's logo?
100%. Yep. So the logos, the colors, the compliance documentation, all of that is designed to be your company information, because we want to make it look like it's coming from you, not a third-party software, or not a carrier.
Perfect. And is it possible to show par whole life with PUA's illustration?
Yep. Yeah. So that's this plan that I brought in. Actually, it was using paid up editions on here. So we were able to see that dividend inside of here. And if you wanted to see like the exact PUA number, we just show the current, like the total cash value and the reduced along with the guarantee. So usually what advisors will do, I'll just bring this report up, is they'll have both the guaranteed and the total cash value to show that difference in what the paid up additions amounts to between those two. So I'll just bring that up right here. So yeah, they'll show something like this. So the difference between the red line, or excuse me, the yellow line and the green line, that's the PUAs in this case, because that's the dividend scale I selected.
Regarding the needs analysis, can what you showed here in LDA replace the basic needs analysis in Excel form that advisors might be using?
Yeah, that's the idea behind it too. So instead of using an Excel-based needs analysis, it could be incorporated in here. We are CLHIA compliant as well, because we cover all the main factors for both a current need and a business need. We have the ability to add in joint as well to that. So yeah, instead of having that separate Excel, you can use this instead and have it incorporated in your insurance recommendations with your clients.
And if someone's asking, they have a premier subscription with LDA. Is everything you showed today included in their subscription?
So with the Premier, that includes the client policy management features and the case creation we looked at today. The lead generation tool, or lead gen as we call it for the website, that is an add-on to the LDA subscription. The cost of that is $20 in addition per month. That can be paid month to month or annually, depending on their billing structure.
Can we create different folders for each client to store client-related files, as clients can have different products?
Yes, absolutely. So every single client has their own profile built into Life Design Analysis. So I'll just click on mine here. This is the profile that was just generated automatically by the client coming through that lead generation section. So yeah, I can see the insurance cases. I can create notes after I have an interaction with them. I could store documents inside of here. All of that's built in, and I can find that client now inside of my manage client section. So I always have a record of that and the documents all inside of here. Nice thing too, because Life Design Analysis is a web-based application, you can use it on any device. So if you need to pull it up on your phone at any point, you can do that too, so long as you have your login information on there.
And how much is a monthly subscription?
So for what we looked at today, including the client and policy management functionality, with the IDC discount, it is $119 on a month-to-month basis. On an annual basis, it is just over $1,200. So essentially, if you're going month to month, it's pay as you go. And if you pay annually, it is a one-year commitment. However, you're paying for about 10 months upfront compared to 12 months over the course of a year. So I'd recommend, if you're interested in learning more about Life Design Analysis, to connect with us or somebody from our team so we can go over the program for your business and get you started with a trial so you can see it in action as opposed to just me going through it today.
I just want to have different file folders for each category of product, such as a folder for life, CI, or DI. So is that possible, or are the file folders specifically just to the client?
It is just to the client, because some clients may have like life, CI, and DI within their own folder, kind of as I showed in one specific example. Now, what some advisors will do inside of the client area is they may search for clients that have specific policy types, because a lot of them have very similar names from the carriers. So you could search for like CI, DI, and then find specific policies under that policy name section to look at that too. So again, it is, in this case, it's broken up into per client, because that client is then used for the insurance recommendation, since we offer more than just the document storage and the file folding.
Are there other compliance tools in the software other than just the needs analysis, such as disclosure, reason why letters, etc.?
Yep. So disclaimers, disclosures, that's all built in. One of the other options inside of here too, inside of our notes area, we can add in custom documents. So we have some built in. So reason why letter, that's one that can be added, whether it's your own or you're using our template. We just need to fill in the blanks based on the need and the recommendation. For disclosure, that's another option. So you can see advisor disclosure template. So we have that available as well. That's in both English and French, but as I mentioned, this can be customized. So if you already have your own and you like to incorporate that in LDA and not use ours, then you could do that too.
Lead gen, is that specifically just for individual clients or also for businesses?
So a lot of the needs are constituted for a personal scenario. Now, you could still use it in business cases, but I find a lot of business cases, they are getting more into that permanent market where you're looking at participating insurance, or maybe insurance as an asset class. So I would say, yes, it can be used, but it's not utilized as often for business.
So if somebody would like to have to reach out to you guys to have just a further chat, a discussion, what's the contact information that they should, or who should they reach out to?
Yeah, so you can reach out to me at any period of time. What I can do is here, I'll just type in my email address inside of the chat section so everybody has access to that. So feel free to contact me at any time and we could schedule a demonstration of the program. Only need about 15 to 30 minutes, depending on the questions that you have. And then we can also set you up with a trial. So please feel free to use that. Or Lisa, if there's any way I can have that sent to anybody that attended, I can send it out afterwards too, whatever works best.
The other thing, did you show the business needs analysis, or can we see the business needs analysis?
Yeah, so let me bring that up right here. So I'm just clicking on that business needs analysis. So with the needs analysis for the business, you'll see it's considering additional options that are necessary for our business needs. So income taxes, capital gains, net value to family, those are different. Partner buy sell, key person, and then of course we have an additional consideration option on top of that too. So with this, you can fill it out with your client or beforehand. You can send a web link of these options within LDA to a client as well. So that's another way you can use the needs analysis is by sending a specific link so they can fill that in. The only thing is it just doesn't add in the insurance options like it does on the lead generation section, but that's another option you have for the business needs analysis if you're looking to use this format.
And a question regarding documents and DocuSign. So can the advisor disclosure be DocuSigned?
So we are looking at integration with signing applications. We were investigating that with DocuSign, but that was back in the time when Manulife did not have DocuSign as a compliance software, but now we know that that is. So what I would recommend is with each insurance case that you create, generate a PDF file, upload that into your signature application, and then that would work because there is those signing parts that are a part of those documents. Yeah, great questions, everyone. Yeah, well, first off, thank you everybody for your attendance today and your questions. Really do appreciate it. So again, if you are interested in learning more, I would encourage that you reach out to us so we can talk about specifically your business needs. I know everybody's different. Your philosophies are all different, but we're a very flexible application and we work with thousands of advisors. So we're probably familiar with it. And there's definitely ways where we can at least save you time, automate compliance, and hopefully improve some of your sales along the way.